Hello again, beautiful beings of light. I am back today to give you some pretty dramatic, maybe a little bit of hard-hitting information regarding the future of humanity, what's going on this planet, where we're going, and essentially, what's going to happen environmentally, politically, economically, as well as spiritually in the next 4 years. So today, I am giving you my 4-year predictions. Now, of course, when we're talking about psychic predictions, I can never tell you that these things are for sure going to happen. And the reason why is because when a psychic, no matter if it's me or literally any other psychic in the world, no matter how well known they are, a psychic can never guarantee future information. Now, when I'm taking a look at your information in particular, I'm taking a look at the infinite multiple parallel realities that your future holds for you, based on the decisions that you make. But you as an individual always has the ability to make different decisions based on your own free will. As a psychic, I cannot override your free will and change the future of your life. Now, likewise, when I, as a psychic, am tapping in to the global collective, to what the hell is going on out there, I'm tapping into a collective conscious reality that is being co-created by about 8 billion different consciousness. 8 billion different realities are all co-creating what we see in the global political sphere. So I have to preface this extremely intense live video by saying these are predictions, does not mean they will come true, but when I tap into the global collective future, I try and tap into the most likely outcome. Okay? So that's basically what I'm doing here today, is I sat down and I meditated for a couple hours today, and I tapped into the most likely outcome for humanity, for this planet, in the next 4 years. Now, on top of that, I'm going to do a little bit of live channeling for all of you today. It's been a while since I've done that. So I am going to tap into the Galactic Federation of Light. There's many different beings, many different councils, many different, things happening in the Galactic Federation, but I specifically will be tapping into the Palladian Security Council. It is a council of Palladians, obviously, that consists of about 8 Palladians, and they overview the situation on Earth. They overview a little bit of everything. You can think about the Palladian Security Council as the UN, or the, what is it called in the UN, United Nations? It's, I think it's actually called the Security Council within the United Nations, but you can basically think about it as that. It's basically a governing body of objective beings who are overviewing the state of humanity, and they decide whether or not they, as the Galactic Federation, should intervene into humanity or into planet Earth or not. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the future of humanity. We're talking about the future of the planet. We're talking potentially about World War III here. I mean, we are really in the middle of it right now. And hi, Corinne. Thank you for that beautiful super chat. So I'm a really positive person, and I don't really like talking about doom and gloom. But at the same time, we are living in a binary world. We're living in a binary universe where both light and dark coexist simultaneously. So as much as I love to talk about the beautiful, incredible, fifth-dimensional utopia that I love and usually talk about, today we're going to be talking about a couple of more serious predictions for 2020 to 2024. Okay, so I'm predicting, or at least channeling, what's going to happen within those next 4 years at a global level. And then, like I said, right at the end, I'm going to tune into the Galactic Federation, the Security Council. I'm going to see what they have to say to all of you. Is it something that you guys need to prepare for? Is it Are you going to be fine? Should you just keep up the high vibrations? Like, is there something specifically that the Palladian Security Council want you all to know right now? Okay, so we're going to leave that till the end, but before that, I'm going to be going into the physical environmental predictions of the next 4 years. I'm going to be going into the economic political predictions for the next 4 years, and of course I'm going to be going into the spiritual predictions for the next 4 years to see what do we have in store and what should we be doing based on this information. Okay, like I said right at the beginning, for those of you just joining, take or leave this information. I cannot guarantee any of these predictions. This is just insights that come to me based on the most likely outcome of the global collective future. Take it or leave it, okay? Okay, so before I begin, anyone else have been really exhausted recently? Like, anyone else, especially in this past week, have you been sleeping more than usual? Have you been having really restless sleeps? Have you been having really freaking intense and visual dreams, like really vivid dreams? Has it felt like you wake up and you're actually more tired than when you went to sleep? I don't know about you guys, and obviously a lot of you are saying yes, but wow, I've been sleeping like 12 hours a night. I've been passing out at 9 o'clock, waking up at 9 a.m., just out, like just completely dead, and it's been incredible. And then I've been having super vivid dreams. Hey, Crystal, as always, thank you for that super chat. So we're getting exhausted because we're being prepared. Okay, so the fact that you're exhausted, it actually means that you are integrating, this is so exciting, you are integrating new vibrations and new energies that 2020 holds for you. If you've been exhausted, if you've been sleeping way more than usual, even if you've been having really restless sleeps. Hey, Chris, what's going on? Thank you for that super chat. Yeah, if you've been having weird sleeping issues, okay, it's most likely a pretty good representation of you integrating new DNA, upgrading your vibration, and ascending to this new vibrational level, okay? So it's a really good indication you're on the right track. You're doing the right things, okay? And once again, like, I've been having really crazy dreams and really tired recently. So if you feel tired, just sleep, honestly. And don't feel bad if you spent your entire weekend sleeping. And we've got a couple people with their ears ringing, hearing this information, pretty good validation that this information is true to you. But hey, it may not be true to everyone. Okay, so you guys are exhausted just as I am. Great integration. 2 announcements that I have. That's it, guys. 2 announcements. Group sessions. Hello, Kai Kai. Thank you. Thank you so much for that beautiful super chat. I love it. 5555. Speaking of which, one of my announcements is super chats. Thank you guys, as always, for your beautiful donations. All of your Christmas gifts were incredible. I just want to say that I have a P.O. box now, so if you are ever interested in, you saw a crystal and you think it resonates with me, feel free to email me, get my address, my P.O. box address, and you can ship me stuff now. So that's kind of open for you guys. Just email me and I'll send that address along. Also, I don't read books, so please don't send me any books. I've got some pretty cool tarot cards and stuff, so if you want to send me oracle cards, I'm open. Crystals, I'm open. Sage, incense, essential oils, love all of that stuff. But books, trust me guys, I do not do any external research. It may be an incredible book like The Law of One, but I still won't read it because I'm not supposed to infiltrate my own perception with others, okay? So that's open for you. Group sessions, I'm back to doing 2 group sessions every week. I just had one yesterday. It was freaking mind-blowing. We went into so many past lifetimes. We went into cosmic connections. We went into DNA shifts and unlocks. Like, we cleared some heavy stuff in that group session. It was brilliant. It was amazing, as always. So if you guys are really interested in getting a one-on-one connection with me, but obviously I'm not doing any more one-on-one sessions, then you definitely want to check out the group sessions. People love them so much, they get 2 tickets or they just come back week after week. So those are completely open for you guys. And it's incredible. an hour and a half of information and downloads for $77, you really cannot go wrong. So feel free to sign up for those. Once again, twice a week, hour and a half. It's always a fun time. And then the last thing is, the super chats. If you feel like something resonates with you, especially during a live video that's so freaking intense like today's, feel free to send a super chat. I accept all donations. I especially love the triple digits or the quadruple digit numbers. Those are fantastic. So that's just you giving back to me, giving my energy. And that really helps support me, especially now that I'm not doing any more one-on-ones. All right, guys? Thank you all so much for your continued support. Really love it. And one more thing is I'm going to start doing daily YouTube videos. Can you believe it? Some of them are going to be pre-recorded from the past, and some of them are going to be live. And of course, I'm switching over to YouTube membership platform as well. It's super exciting for February 1st. So a lot of things going on, but way more content. I have way more free time now. It's so exciting. So tons of info, tons of content. And once again, always love and appreciate the super chats and donations. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk about the physical changes, the shifts in the environment. Now, I want to say that all of the shifts and all of the changes and all of the predictions that I've channeled for today are for the next 4 years. So I just want to repeat that, okay? So I'm not just talking about 2020, I'm talking about 2020 to 2024. For whatever reason, that has been a very significant timeline for years now. Okay, so I mean, obviously we all kind of knew that 2020 was going to be significant, but it keeps coming up, 2020 to 2024. Overall, what I've channeled, especially for the past couple of years, for that 4-year period, is a huge transition. Huge changes at a global level. And what do huge changes mean? It means an absolute and complete collapse of everything. So basically, what we're going to have happen in the next 4 years is a giant, collective, global ego death. Now, who here, raise of hands or just a little yes or a heart or whatever, who here, okay, who here has had an ego death in the last 3 years or 4 years since 2016? 2016 to 2019 was another incredible timeline, okay? And when I say ego death, some of you may not know exactly what that is. Basically, that means that you have collapsed your old perception, you collapsed your old reality, and you have recently stepped into a new way of thinking, a new way of being, a new version of yourself. And a lot of the times, most of the time, having an ego death means that you have let go. Hey, Sharma, thank you so much for that super chat. Having an ego death means that you have collapsed your job, you have collapsed your relationship, you have collapsed obviously your perception, your old patterning, programming, you have collapsed your, job, relationship, your living situation, your socioeconomic status as well. Like, who else in the past 4 years lost all of their money? Yep, right here, right here. And actually, I lost all of my money because I decided to make those big changes in my life. And I changed everything. I changed my relationship. I changed my job, my career, not majorly, but I changed many things in my career. And I changed my living situation. I literally moved to a different country, right? And so throughout all of those changes, I literally lost everything that I was building up, everything that I thought I had. Right? And so this is what we're going to see. And a lot of you have been going through this ego death. A lot of you have been having this kind of experience. Same with me, right? We're all kind of in the same, line. And so that's incredible. It's shitty in the moment. It's scary as hell because you have no idea what's to come. And you know what? Some of you right now may be in the middle of a giant ego death. And I just want to say, it's fucking beautiful on the other side. It's incredible. So hang on, because this moment that you're in of confusion and chaos and unpredictability, this is only impermanent. It's not going to last forever. And you're going to feel a hell of a lot better at the end of it. Okay? So basically what happens when we all have an ego death, which is most of you, we collapse everything. We go from building up this dream life, or at least a dream life that we think we have, to collapsing it all to say, holy shit, I didn't want any of that. None of that served me. And now who am I? Now what do I want? Right? So this is what we're going to have happen at a global level. Like, really? Just take it in. Most of you already went through your own shift. So think about the entire population of the planet, not just going through their own internal ego death, but think about the planet as a whole going through a giant collapse in order to have a rebirth. Oh, I just got chills. That's huge. That's major. And that's scary. We're going to see a collapse in order to have a rebirth on this planet, in order to hop into the fifth dimension frequency. Everything needs to shift. Everyone needs to shift. Right now, for most of you who have gone through that ego death, I guarantee you that you're having a hard time hopping into the fifth dimension, the higher state of being, and maintaining that. I guarantee you that you're having a hard time maintaining a high vibrational frequency. And you know why? Because your friends, your family member, and 7 billion other people out there have chosen to continue to perpetuate their own illusion, have continued to perpetuate their old paradigms and their limiting beliefs. So you beautiful one individual soul, are competing against the rest of the entire world. So of course it's going to be hard to maintain a high vibrational frequency. I don't blame you. I'm having a hard time maintaining a high vibrational frequency. So I'll tell you this right here. Before we get into the physical, environmental, economic, political, World War III crazy shit that we're about to get into, I just want to give you a little bit of advice, okay, while you're in this shift. I predict that we, as a collective on this planet, will not be able to fully shift into 5D until 2024. The entire planet as a whole has to go through an ego death. Sure, maybe your ego death took a couple of months. Maybe you shifted your whole life in a couple of weeks. Good for you, because that's incredible. Maybe it took you a couple of years to shift your entire life. Think about the planet as a whole. It's going to take at least 4 years for everything to collapse, and who knows how long to rebuild things in a new vibrational frequency. Okay? Hey, Zach. So it's really important that we start understanding this and do not get caught up in the cluster of the transition of the planet. Who else has been having crazy anxiety attacks? Anyone else? Who else has been too focused on their breath, or having social anxiety, or having panic attacks, or feeling being too much of an empath, taking on too much stuff from other people? Who else has been feeling that you've been on a roller coaster ride that you're not in control of? Okay, great. Stop it. You are too connected to the collective consciousness of the planet. And you know what? As someone who is here, you right now, as someone who is here to help elevate humanity, good for you. You signed up for this job. But I have to remind you that you did not sign up to sacrifice yourself. I have to remind you that right now is not a time to step up and take on the burdens of the world. This is not the time for you to do that. Because you know what's going to happen? Think about it this way, the Schumann resonance, okay? The Schumann resonance is a pretty good mirror reflection, and I know it's not really the Schumann resonance, but that vibrational kind of, craziness, right? If we think about the Schumann resonance going really, really high and then really, really low, think about that as a collective consciousness vibration of the planet. The more you're an empath, the more you're connected to the collective humanity consciousness. When the vibration is high, you're feeling good, everything in life is coming together, you're feeling that cosmic bliss, that euphoria, that's great. Hey, Bo, thank you for that super chat. You're feeling so great. And then all of a sudden, war breaks out in Iraq. And guess what happens? You collapse right along with the rest of the world because everyone else is feeding into fear. Are you feeding into fear? No. You're just an open empath, and you're allowing the vibrations of the collective humanity on this planet to affect you. So guess what's going to happen? You're going to be all over the place. going to be up and then down and then up and then down and all over the place. You don't deserve that, and it's freaking exhausting to do that. So how do we disconnect ourselves from the collective consciousness? We empower ourselves to stay within the realm of our own reality. So in any way possible, if you give your power away, hey Gabby, thank you for that beautiful super chat, 111. If you give your power away in any way, you are too connected to the collective and you're allowing others to suck your energy from you and to dictate the flow of your vibration. I'm going to give you a good example of this. Basically, we can chalk this up to being passive, but let me just give you an example. If you go to a restaurant and you're really thirsty and your water comes and there's a hair on the inside of your glass, if you're the type of person to say, oh, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just going to pick this hair off and I'm just going to drink the water because that's who I am. The universe doesn't care if you're standing in your power with your husband or your wife or your boss or the frickin' waitress to ask for a new water. The universe doesn't care which decision you're making. You're still putting out this vibration that you are sacrificing yourself and refusing to ask for what you want. Therefore, you are going to continue to be flung around within the vibrations of the planet. Okay? So it's really important that you stand in your power and that you start living your own reality. The more you give your power away, the more you're going to get caught up in the chaos of the collapsing of the current global reality. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, fantastic. Let's talk about physical and environmental shifts that are going to be happening within the next 4 years. Okay? Okay, so I channeled this today in meditation. I wanted to ask what was going to be going on. Once again, take or leave any of this information, guys, please. I don't want you, fighting me on this. This is literally just what came through. So for physical and environmental shifts, the first thing that I saw visually was a lot of tectonic plate shifting. So continents moving. When you think about tectonic plates shifting on this planet, you also think about what are the repercussions of that. So things like tsunamis, tidal waves, earthquakes, what comes with earthquakes, things like fires and electrical grid being blown out, those kind of things. Okay. So the first thing that I saw, physical, environmental, tectonic plate shifts, a lot of them. The earth is shifting right now as human beings are shifting, and that's okay. That is totally okay. It's not going to affect everyone in the world, but I do believe that this is going to happen and ramp up a little bit more. Then I feel like it's going to settle down after 2024. Second thing that I saw with physical and environmental shifts happening globally is flooding. I saw a lot of flooding. I've seen flooding for a little while now, and I get a lot of dreams of tsunamis, like a lot of dreams of huge waves hitting the shore. And we've got the Australia fires right now. Wow, guys. I mean, that is huge. I mean, is it worse than the Amazonian fires? I think so. We're up to 500 million animals now died, estimate, because of the Australian fires. So yeah, pray for rain. Absolutely. And basically what I've channeled with the Australian fires and in general, what's going to be happening with the environment is a natural purging. There's going to be this natural purging of the land. Not saying that those animals needed to be purged, just saying that there needs to be this clearing, right? When death happens, there's a rebirth that happens. And that's just a very natural state of flow. That's not my words. I mean, this has been spoken about generations after generations, especially within indigenous tribes and shamans, right? Death always symbolizes rebirth. So we need to realize it's absolutely catastrophic and really sad. But essentially praying for rain and understanding that everything is in divine order is going to be really important, right? The other thing too that I channeled was crazy storms, like really crazy, like say for example Texas getting snow and the Arctic getting whatever, I don't know, like really hot weather, right? So we're gonna see a lot of weird, crazy storms in places that they shouldn't be. Yes, okay, and that actually leads me to my last point within the physical and environmental shifts for 2020 to 2024, which is, I've said this for a couple years now. I have been really hated on for saying this, and you can still hate on me, that's fine, but there's going to be a time when you're all going to be like, oh, damn, yeah, she was onto something. And once again, this is not my own information. This is just what came to me, and it's come to me for a while now. It's not that I don't believe in global warming. It's that I define it a different way. Yes, for sure, okay? Yes, for sure, humans are adding to the destruction of the planet. I completely agree, okay? But I believe that most of what we are seeing right now on the planet and the flooding, the shifts, tectonic plate shifts, the storms, okay? I believe that that is probably way more due to the fact that we are going through a pole shift. A pole shift. If you don't know what a pole shift is, I want you to do some research on this. Okay, for years now, I don't want to say once again, not really believed in global warming, but I believe that it's way more the pole shift where we're seeing weird weather patterns. We're seeing tons of whales washing up on beaches. Why? Because when a pole shift happens, the electromagnetic frequencies of the planet get shifted. This is not a brand new occurrence to the planet. A pole shift happens every 26,000 to 32,000 years. Where are we right now? What did 2012 mark? It marked the 26,000 year cycle. This is not a random event, but I do believe that we have been lied to say, it's all your fault, do something about it. And yeah, we do need to do something about it. I mean, we're really killing the planet right now. But we also have to realize and understand that this is a very natural occurrence. And when we understand that it's a pole shift that's happening, we can plan for these events accordingly. Now, I don't want to freak you out, because when you take a look at pole shifts, you're going to see ice age, right? You're going to see the next ice age. That's what all the science and researchers say, okay? Essentially, I don't believe, hey, Julia, thank you so much for that beautiful super chat. I don't believe that we're going to have a 360 pole shift or a 180 pole shift or even a 90-degree pole shift. What I've channeled is that we're going to have a 15 to 30% pole shift. What science is saying right now is that we've already shifted our pole in the past 10 years, like, I don't know what, 5%, 5 degrees or whatever they call it, right? We've already started shifting our pole. So I want you to, hey, don't just take it or leave it. Do your own research. That's what it's all about. I'm just here to plant seeds, to open up your mind, to say, maybe something else is going on. And whether you define it as global warming or a pole shift, it's good to be prepared. Okay, it's good to be prepared. So once again, I believe that there's going to be, which there is right now, it's been proven, a magnetic pole shift between 15 to 30% in the next 4 years. I don't think it's going to move anywhere past 30%. And I don't know if I was honestly channeling 30% or 30 points. I'm not sure. So don't fully take my word on it. Either 15 to 30 points, like degrees, or 15 to 30%. It feels like 30% would be a huge shift. So maybe it's 30 points or 30 degrees. I don't know. Either way, it'd be a pretty big shift. Either way, we're going to see weird weather, and it's completely natural, and it's not going to be completely devastating for the planet, but it's just a natural, it's kind of like the planet changing its seasons. That's literally what happens. It's like this brand new rebirth. And as many animals as we're seeing dying right now, there's going to be a lot of animals coming back really weird, actually, like coming back out of extinction, new animals that are going to be discovered, and these animals are going to be very well adapted to the new pole shift. So kind of be aware, don't be in fear about it, and just be aware of what is happening. I just want to mention one thing that I didn't channel about the environmental and physical shifts on this planet is the solar flare. It was in 2018? It was probably around February of 2018 where I channeled, and it was really intense. Like, it was a very intense channel. I asked the Galactic Federation for information, the Security Council, and back in 2018, they told me that it is 60% likely that there is going to be a giant solar flare. And they literally showed me this solar flare coming from the sun, hitting the earth, and essentially it hit directly, I saw it, hit the top of Russia, okay? And basically what they told me this solar flare was gonna do is wipe out the electrical grid on the planet. Now, I wasn't clear on, was it only gonna wipe out Russia and that continent and, Asia and whatever, or is it gonna wipe out, North America as well? Like, I wasn't totally sure. But what was interesting was when I channeled the environmental shifts, the solar flare didn't come up. And I just want to say that I channeled in 2018 that the solar flare, this huge solar flare, it was going to happen in 2021. They said the beginning of 2021. So I'm not sure, right? It didn't come up again, but that's definitely a good question that I can ask the Galactic Federation now, a couple years later, to say, hey, what's going on with the solar flare? Because if our electrical grid is going to be wiped out temporarily, which has been predicted and prophesized for many years in many different religions, this 3 days and 3 nights of blackness. I don't know if you've ever heard about that, but the Galactic Federation told me back in 2012 about this nights of darkness or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, and so, so I'm going to ask them again. I'm going to see if they can give me any more insights on that at the end of this video. Okay, let's move on. Hi, Ian. Thank you so much for that super chat. Super appreciated, as always. Okay, let's talk about economic and political shifts and predictions for the next 4 years, between 2020 and 2024. This is us getting into World War III. And now I stay fully out of news. I stay fully out of really any external research, as you guys know. But my beautiful assistant, Lauren, told me this morning in our little meeting that, the world is going crazy and there's a lot of talk of this World War III with Trump and I think it's Iraq. I think it's Iraq. Anyway, and so there's a lot of talk about this. And so I wanted to tap in to see what was going on. And so this is basically what I channeled for the global, political, and economic areas of the world. Okay, it's really intense. And I want to say that this information came through really, it's Iran. Sorry, guys. See, this is how much I don't follow the news. Anyway, Iran, right? So there's a lot of stuff happening. So I just want to say that this information came through really, really clearly with the economic and political stuff. And I'm not going to mention anything in particular. And I just want to say that even though there's going to be a lot of collapse in the next 4 years, I do not see a nuclear war. I do not see World War III. I don't see that being an outcome. That didn't come to me at all. I will say that for years, between 2012 and 2016, I got apocalyptic dreams almost nightly. And a lot of the a lot of volcanoes erupting, the Arctic ice melting, a lot of, nuclear bombs going off, right? Like, I was getting a lot of apocalyptic dreams. I have not gotten any of those apocalyptic dreams since then. I've had a lot of visions of environmental collapses, but definitely no World War III type of nuclear stuff going on. So at least that's kind of, a positive thing, right? Okay, so economic and political. The number one thing that I saw when I channeled this, and this was just a couple hours ago that I channeled this, the number one thing that I saw was arrests. There's going to be a lot of people arrested in the next 4 years. And I'm not talking about citizens. I'm talking about really deep state, top of the, shadow government, cabal, Illuminati people getting arrested, very clearly. a lot of stuff is going to collapse, okay, on the inside. We're going to have no idea because they never share that type of information with us. We're going to have no idea. We're going to have a trickle-down effect. So essentially, we're going to get some backhanded information of, oh, this guy got arrested, but we have no idea who the guy is, what it's in reference to, and what he was actually doing behind the scenes. A lot of men especially who are in politics, who are a part of pedophilia, who are a part of really dirty stock exchange, who are a part of drug smuggling, who are a part of weapon smuggling, all of that, okay, and people who are getting lobbied and paid off. Essentially, those are the people who are going to be taken down. The other thing that I received just today, okay, brand new information, is that the top of the opposite of the Illuminati and shadow government, so let's call them, the Galactic Federation, like these beautiful beings who are kind of in charge of overseeing the planet, those beings have come to this planet very recently and have basically told the top of the shadow government to say, you can no longer be doing the practices that you're doing, and if you do not leave willingly, we will kick you out, and it will be absolutely humiliating. So some people, as we've seen in the past couple of years, some people have left, okay, willingly. Some people have just stepped down from office. Some people have left the podium. Some people have cashed out on all of their stocks and left Wall Street, right? We've been seeing this, and we've seen pedophilia rings and major, Weinstein collapses happening within the entertainment industry and those kind of things. It's already happening, but I'm telling you guys, it's going to happen tenfold. Especially in the political area moving forward, okay? Major collapses happening, a lot of people getting arrested, okay? So there was news that was leaked from the Galactic Federation. They told the shadow government and the cabal on this planet, you can't be doing what you're doing, and we are about to kick you off, or you can leave. Okay, so the other thing too, I just want to mention that I do see some economic collapse. I can't tell you to what extent the economy is going to collapse. I didn't necessarily see recession or depression type of collapse. I didn't see that. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but that's just not the information that was given to me. What I did see was major Wall Street and stock collapses, like huge conglomerate companies collapsing, okay? And that could potentially be companies like Walmart or McDonald's, or I don't know what other kind of huge conglomerate, Kellogg's or whatever, Coca-Cola, right? Like I just see these huge collapses, and basically, the information that they gave me was these fake stocks, like anyone at the top level who's involved in wheeling and dealing fake stocks. I don't know really what they meant by fake stocks. Like, I don't know if it was like just kind of a house of cards type of company and that's what collapses. Not totally sure, but the stock market, we're going to see a huge collapse in the stock market. And the reason why is because the information that has been leaked at the highest levels of the Galactic Federation, and then the players that are going to start being picked out of the shadow government, okay, all of that is going to coalesce into these big Wall Street people and these really big, like lots of money, very wealthy individuals. Guess what they're going to do? They're all going to get freaked out all at the same time, and they are going to basically pull all of their money from all of their investments and liquidate everything. Okay, that's what I've channeled. It was very clear. And so they're all going to pull out before they lose everything. And when they pull out, they crash everything. Now, I just want to say that in the past, they've played this game where they've crashed the market only to buy up all of those stocks at a very low price in order to inflate the market again. This is not going to be the case. This is not going to be a game. This is them getting scared shitless and pulling all of their resources out of this fake market, which is basically what it is. It's numbers on a screen that mean nothing at all. So they're going to pull everything. They're going to crash the market. I don't know to what extent. I have no idea. It could be very minor, but what I see is these pretty big conglomerates or pretty big companies. For the most part, I didn't see it affecting the average person. Overall, it actually benefits the average person because there's much more money in rotation in society. Okay, so that's just what I saw. Okay, so the other thing that I saw too is like a lot of war. Not world wars, but a lot of war, a lot of famine. Okay, so yes, oh, so interesting. A ton of refugees. So a lot of developing countries, and I mean, we're already kind of seeing it right now, but a lot of developing countries are going to have massive issues with refugees. What's going to happen when there's a war that's breaking out in, I don't know, Switzerland's a bad example, but Iran, right? I mean, where are all those people going to go? They're going to be refugees and they're going to need a safe haven. So how are developing countries or developed countries going to deal with the influx of refugees? And it's interesting because it feels like with the whole Trump Make America Great Again, okay, it really feels like he's kind of planning or pre-planning with some of his laws of immigrants and what have you. He's been pre-planning this kind of influx of refugees. So I don't know. Who knows if he has the insider information or not, or if he's just a puppet. Not totally sure there, but there's definitely going to be war, famine, and refugees. The other thing that I channeled with the next 4 years, 2020 to 2024, with a lot of the war, it is going to be a new type of war based on the system that we have. And if you guys know anything about political science, we have a globalized system. It's called globalization. Basically, what that means is every country is completely indebted and entrenched in every other country. This is a positive thing because no one wants to fight each other because everyone's entangled and sleeping in each other's beds, right? But this is also a really negative thing because if one country decides to pull out, like Brexit or America or whatever, if they decide to pull out, then it really kind of makes everything else a bit of a cluster, right? And so we're in a globalized, economy right now. And what I saw was that the newest type of war that we're going to see, and we've already kind of seen it, is called a trade war, okay? And so, guys, literally, this is me doing no research externally on what's going on. This is everything that I've channeled. I channeled all of this information. I didn't read a book about it. This is information that I've channeled, but I'm very knowledgeable in the terminology because I studied global political economy in university. That's why I'm like very fluent in the terminology. Okay. So basically, what I see as the future type of wars is a trade war or a resource war, which basically means that instead of saying, I'm going to bomb you because of nuclear proliferation, which basically means everyone in the world has nukes, so no one's going to nuke each other because they know it's going to be the end of the world, right? So because of that, hey CH, thank you so much for that beautiful super chat. Because of that, I basically see that one company is going to say, I'm going to tax your resources, your goods so much that you're not going to be able to afford to buy from me. Or we're going to cut off our trade deal, which means that you're never going to have resources, or we're not going to buy from you, which means that your economy is going to tank, right? So we've already kind of seen that a little bit with China and America and what Mr. President is doing right now. But that's what's going to be the future of the war, is a resource war, a trade war, which is just interesting. So that's just kind of what I channeled. Okay, very cool. Very interesting. Like I said, I mean, kind of doom and gloom, but also just really relevant, important information for everyone to be aware of. Okay. So last but not least, before we tap into the Galactic Federation of Light, and we kind of see what they have to say about what's going on, and maybe they can give us some new information. I want to talk about the spiritual evolution and the spiritual shifts and what's happening for the future of humanity spiritually. Okay, so far we've talked about the physical, environmental shifts and predictions for the next 4 years. We've talked about the economic and political shifts for the next 4 years. Now we're going to get into the spiritual shifts for the next 4 years. And of course, we're going to do a little bit of channeling from the Galactic Federation. Just a little message or whatever, just a little announcement. Once again, guys, if you want my own personal channeling for you one-on-one, I am doing group sessions 2 times a week. Okay, so I will answer any of your questions in one of these group sessions for anything from past lifetimes to energy blocks to a bad relationship to, a new job or whatever. Okay, so be aware that if you do resonate with me and you want to get a feel for my channeling, and trust me, these group sessions are incredible and everyone loves them so much, they always come back. So just be aware that you can get a hold of me in these group sessions. Okay, and they're held on Zoom, so it's international. And then the last thing is donations and super chat, guys. If you resonate with this information, really all I'm going to be doing moving forward is producing content and group sessions. So I really highly recommend or appreciate, I should say, all of the donations and the super chats that you guys give me. So thank you so much for your continued support. Okay, spiritual. Let's talk about it. Okay, so right now we're kind of at this precipice where we are in between vibrations. And for the next 4 years, unfortunately, we are going to be in between the low vibrational frequency of the 3rd dimension and the high vibrational frequency of the 5th dimension. Okay, so we're kind of all in limbo right now. We're kind of all in this weird liminal state. Oh yeah, one more thing. Please subscribe, guys. Subscribe to my channel. I am going to be producing and putting out content every single day. So if you definitely don't want to miss an update from the universe, please subscribe and hit the notification button for all of the notifications on my channel and the downloads and information from the universe. Okay, cool. All right, shameless plug is over. So right now, for those of you who have gone through your ego death and who have gone through the tough work and you have changed almost every aspect of your life, good for you. Congratulations. I am so freaking proud of you because it's so hard to change everything and to live a different life than what you're used to. So good for you. And once again, it's going to be very hard to maintain that high vibrational 5th dimension frequency because the rest of the world is just not there yet. So your job for the next 4 years is to help people rise to their occasions. But the biggest thing about helping people rise to their highest vibration is that you don't get entangled in their vibration yourself. Hey, Eric, thank you so much for that 1111 super chat. That's incredible. Don't get entangled. Don't get mixed up in the chaos of someone else's energy, reality, and vibration when trying to help them. Don't sacrifice yourself for others, okay? It's really important that you don't do that. So you can help other people, but do not enable them and don't get caught up. And that's where you're going to find that balance. And it's a tricky balance to maintain, but I know you can do it. Right now, the rest of the world for the next 4 years is going to have their own ego death and ascension. So your brother, your mother, all of your friends, everyone who has no idea what you're talking about, everyone who has no idea what I'm talking about right now, okay? You're about to ascend. Those people are about to ascend in the next 4 years. And that's exciting, super exciting, and very scary as well, which means that there's going to be a lot of physical death. There's going to be a lot of job changes. There's going to be a lot of relationship changes. There's going to be a lot of, house, changes, living changes. So if you're a morticianer, a real estate agent, a divorce lawyer, good for you. I mean, you're going to have a really successful couple of years. It is a terrible joke, but forgive that joke. That was awful. But really though, we're going to see like 7 to 8 billion people transition and ascend and awaken in the next 4 years. That's crazy. That's insane. So exciting though. So exciting, so scary, a little bit of everything. And aren't you happy that you're on the other end of it? Isn't that great? So good. Okay, so I don't really see a stable 5th dimension frequency until 2024 or potentially 2025. I don't see a stable 5th dimension frequency. We, as less than 1% of the entire population of the planet who is awakening, we are unable to fully stabilize the vibration of the planet right now. We're competing against 7 billion other people who are all pretty freaking negative. So it's hard and it's exhausting to continue to uplift other people's vibration because it drains you. Okay? So ultimately focus on yourself and do not get sucked in to other people's entangled realities. Okay? So we're not going to see a really pure fifth dimension frequency, a stabilized fifth dimension frequency until 2025 and beyond. Okay? Okay, yes. I also want to say a lot of death. That means a lot of animals passing away, a lot of people passing away. I just want to say that if you have a friend or a loved one or someone who suddenly gets cancer or a tumor and passes away really suddenly, or a really beautiful soul that you know who gets into a tragic car accident and passes away very suddenly, we are going to see a huge uptick of very sudden deaths. And half of these people are going to be so low vibrational, so negative, that they are not supporting the fifth dimensional vibration, which means that they're taking an exit point consciously with their free will. They're taking an exit point, whether it seems like it or not. They're taking an exit point in order to move on, to allow humanity to rise to the occasion. On the other end, we're seeing like beautiful souls, like really incredible human beings taking early exit points because they cannot do the work that they planned to do on this planet in the physical incarnated body. Okay? I call these souls earth angels. They're so incredible and so beautiful, and it's such a loss to humanity. But also they get to transcend. They get to be an angel and they get to do work on the other side, free of the limitations of space and time. Okay? So a lot of purging, a lot of very natural purging that's going to happen on this planet. Also, we're going to see a huge uptick in Schumann resonance spikes. I still have to write a blog about the Schumann resonance. It's definitely on my list of things to do, especially when I have more time. But Schumann resonance spikes, even though I know it's not technically I roll, semantics, it's not technically the Schumann resonance. It is an electromagnetic frequency on the planet, okay? And as this electromagnetic frequency spikes, we are all electromagnetic frequency. We all have this vibration within us. And as that vibration spikes, it'll basically spike our consciousness. And who knows? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Are we spiking the Schumann resonance, or is the Schumann resonance spiking us? And that's something to ponder on tonight when you can't sleep. All right, cool. Yeah, consciousness expansion, right? We're going to have a ton of ego death, but we're going to have a ton of consciousness expansion, and that's going to be super exciting. A little bit scary, but super exciting. And I just see Paris that just gave me a donation. Thank you so much, Paris, for that beautiful 1111 donation. If you don't know how to super chat, or you're not connected on YouTube to super chat, feel free to also send me a donation as well. Once again, only if you resonate with this content. And for everyone who is getting really triggered by this video, I just want to say that you're here for a reason, right? You're listening to this information for a reason, whether you think it's the truth or a lie or a projection or something that I'm doing for attention or whatever it is that you're convincing yourself of. You showed up. You're here. And I thank you for that. You're changing your vibration just by listening to this. Whether your ego is resisting or not, I thank you for showing up for the collective consciousness. Amazing. So now I'm going to take the last 5-10 minutes to just tune into the vibrational frequency of the collective. I'm going to tune into the Galactic Federation, and I'm going to tune into the Palladian Security Council. For those of you who have never seen me channel, basically the way that I channel, hey dude with a laptop, thank you so much for that beautiful super chat. For those of you who have never seen me channel, I channel through vibrational frequency. So I actually see visuals, and then I'll explain what that visual looks like, and then I'll explain what that visual means. But the best thing about seeing visuals is it's always up to you to determine what you think that may mean as well. I'm only interpreting the information that I receive. Now me, Elizabeth, at 27 years old, I don't have the best mechanisms of interpretation. Hey, Adam. Thank you so much for that super chat. I, as a 27-year-old, I don't have the best language, right? I'm limited by all of those things and my own perception. So once again, take or leave this information. Two things that I want to mention about channeling. One is I have a Gaia episode coming out. I was interviewed by Ruben Langdon, and I was interviewed for his show Interviews with Ed, Interviews with Extra Dimensionals. If you guys have the Gaia Network, definitely check out his show. Our interview is freaking mind-blowing. I directly channel my tall gray self, Hira, as well as my future mantis, like 12-foot tall mantis self, Khan. And so I channel them in this episode. So if you are interested in getting a feel for me channeling interdimensional beings, then you can check out Interviews with Ed. The episode is not released yet. It's just being edited, and it should be released in April, but you guys will all know. And then the second thing I wanted to mention too is right now I am conducting sessions for free. Please don't email me about those yet. I've got about 150 people to go through. Hey Heidi, thank you so much for that beautiful super chat. Yeah, and so I've got a lot of names already signed up, so I'm just going to sit on that for a while. But I am going to be releasing exclusive access to my one-on-one channeled sessions, which means that you guys will get a feel for everything that I do, and it may trigger you or it may make you love me even more, right? It really depends. But I think that these channeled sessions are so cool, and you guys have really never seen me channel in a session like that. So hang on to your boots, guys, because I am going to be releasing some pretty in-depth sessions coming up for all of you as a YouTube video, and it's going to be completely free. So anyway, so it's going to be really cool. Okay. So let me put my book down. Let me just cut all the cords that you guys have created. I don't know if you know this, but after every live video, I'll look at my energy with my third eye, and I will look like a porcupine, you know, with all the spikes coming from it, but I'll have all of your cords, right? So when you think about me, when I start to shift your vibration, or there's some aha moment or an unlock that happens with you when you watch my video, especially live, you create a cord with me. So after a live video, I have all of your cords connected to me, and all I do is like this. I just like trim the hedges. You know, I have to cut all of the energies off so I'm not connected to your reality, and I'm not getting information for you on my time off, right? It's super interesting, but hey, it's the life of a psychic, I guess. Okay, all right. Yes. Okay, 1 second, guys. Let me just see what's going on here. Let's connect to the Galactic Federation and see what they have to say. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so lots of information coming through here. Once again, guys, please take it or leave it. I don't know why I just got so freaking bright. But take or leave this information. It's completely up to you, okay, what you want to do with this. It's pretty simple. Yeah, okay. So the first thing was I astral traveled out of my body, and this is cool because all of this happens in a split second. I astral traveled out of my body, and I went up to the Galactic Federation spaceship. It's like this giant mothership that hangs out just outside of Earth's atmosphere. And yeah, so I went over to them. I went to the Palladian Security Council room. Immediately, I was greeted by one of them. They were all standing. They're usually sitting in their chairs. And I was greeted by one of them, I guess maybe the leader. And he says, he says, hi, we've been expecting you. And I kind of knew that because they'd been giving me messages all week that I needed to come visit them. That's why I figured I would include this in the video today. Anyway, and so I said, okay, what does humanity need to know? Like, what's going on? What do people need to know? And they gave me like 3 main messages. Yeah. Okay, so the first one, they were talking about disempowerment, and they were talking about throughout the awakening, we're going to have a lot of people disempowering themselves. Now, the 3rd dimensional aspect of disempowerment is, oh, well, my boss told me that I'm not a good worker, so I must not be a good worker. Oh, well, my mom told me that I'm, overweight, so I must be overweight, right? So that's a very rudimentary 3rd dimensional aspect of disempowerment, right? And so when we start to awaken ourselves and raise our vibration, which we're going to be doing in the next 4 years, we are going to move on from the disempowerment from the 3rd dimension, and we're going to move into a 5th dimensional disempowerment. So it's kind of like these levels or layers of disempowerment, but it's cool. But the Galactic Federation wanted to bring this up just for you all. Hey, JRC, thank you so much for that super chat. So the Galactic Federation wanted us to know, to almost be aware of the disempowerment that we can all have and take on moving forward. So the way that they said it was, we continue to disempower ourselves within the universe, which means that if you say, oh, thank you so much, universe, for getting me this job. Oh, thank you so much, spirit guides, for telling me that this doesn't work for me. You're continuing, I'm so bright right now, it's incredible. You continue to disempower yourself through the universe, through your spirit guides. If you continue to believe that it's not you who's creating your reality, you continue to disempower yourself. Okay, so there's a warning here, and the warning is, great, elevate yourself away from the 3rd dimension frequency, but essentially move even from beyond that and be aware that giving all your power away to your spirit guides, thinking that they're going to be the only ones creating your reality, okay, that's going to be super disempowering too. And thanking the universe, thinking that it's something else external to you that's creating your reality, okay, is also going to be disempowering. So after we go through the phase of disempowerment, what do? We start to step into our power. So within the next 4 years, between 2020 to 2024, and I saw a really cool visual. It was like, if you could imagine like an astral body, there I am, okay. If you could imagine an astral body and then the physical human body, and the astral body didn't just look like white light. It looked like the universe, like this beautiful fuzzy with galaxies and different colors. And when we say, oh, thank you so much, universe. Oh, thank you so much, spirit guides. Oh, thank you so much, boss, for validating me or validating my existence or giving me some sort of validation, you're giving your power away. So what I see for the next 4 years is this: stepping into yourself. Understanding that you are the only one who is creating your reality. Now, when you start to really fully understand that you're the only one creating your reality, then what that means is that anything is possible. What life do you want to live? What do you want to manifest? What is coming through? What are you going to do with all of that power, with all of that awareness? Okay, so that was the first main message, which is, be aware of disempowering yourself, and simultaneously, after we go through the upheaval of disempowering ourselves and kind of being lost within that, we start to re-empower ourselves. And that is truly the awakening, is understanding that you are the only source of your reality. You are the only one. You are the universe experiencing itself as an individual incarnation. And you chose to do that. You chose to be here. Once you realize that and take responsibility for that, anything is possible. You can live any life you could ever dream of, right? That's incredible. And then what else did they say? There was one more thing that they wanted to mention, but I lost it now. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so the second thing that is really important is, and the words that they brought up were, there is a decision that all of us need to make in the next 4 years. I think for the most part, a lot of you have made that decision, but I also think a lot of you are getting sucked into the fear-based mentality, and the fear-based mentality of being paranoid or being anxious or thinking that you're being targeted or stalked or whatever. That's a very low vibrational frequency. Yeah, you may be aware of conspiracies or the Illuminati or reptilian shapeshifters and all of that. It's great that you're aware of that, but don't get sucked into that. And so the Palladians were telling me that there is a choice that all of us need to make, and the choice is related to the high vibrational frequency, that kind of utopian, beautiful, incredible, cosmic euphoric kind of frequency, or the very fear-based, paranoid, low vibration. All of us are going to be stepping into knowledge one way or another, but how are you going to perceive that knowledge? The cool thing that they wanted to mention is that, and this is kind of cool, you can either step into the love or step into the fear, right? It's completely up to you, high vibration or low vibration, but you have to make that choice. And that means making that choice for every aspect of your life, not just making that choice for the spiritual aspect of your life, okay? Now, ultimately, if you choose not to make a choice in love or fear, and you want to be in the middle, you just kind of want to coast, you want to be in this weird liminal place, and that's just who you are. You want to be on the fence. You want to experience the light and the dark simultaneously. That's cool. That's cool. Good for you, right? That's great. They said that for the people who are stuck in the middle, who maybe make some good choices or high vibrational choices here, and then you make some low vibrational choices there, and you're just kind of in the middle, which means that you're kind of stuck. Like nothing really bad is happening to you, but nothing really good is happening to you either, which is kind of a shitty place to be. Like who just wants to be kind of floating, right? Sometimes it's fun, and sometimes it's, enough is enough. Anyway, they said that for those of us, and everyone's going to get caught up in the high vibration, everyone's going to experience the low vibration, and all of you are also going to experience the middle ground, right? We're all going to be experiencing all of those aspects within the next 4 years, but we do have that main choice to make. And ultimately what they said was the people who are really stuck in the middle are going to be experiencing a lot of quantum like a quantum leaping and a lot of like weird, what is it called? Not paradoxes in the matrix, but glitches. So people who are stuck in the middle between high vibration and low vibration and who won't make a definitive choice for their entire life will be stuck, but also experiencing weird glitches in the matrix, right? And the reason why is because, say for example, I'm going to give you a silly example, but I have to, and then I'm going to close off this live video. Say for example, you have a plant that you really love. Okay, I'm like super into gardening and planting right now, so this is my example. You have a plant that you really love, and all of a sudden it gets really cold, and you're fearful that the plant shouldn't be outside. So in a low vibration or a fear vibration, you take the plant from outside and you bring it inside. That could be also a very intuitive insight or just a fear-based decision. Anyway, we're going to call it a fear-based decision. So you move the plant. Now, because you haven't chosen a high vibration or a low vibration in your reality, it was very likely that you also chose a higher vibration and you left the plant outside and you trusted that it was going to be okay and that it needed to be outside. So we all experience glitches in the matrix when we are kind of indifferent about the choices that we're making. I could make a very positive choice or I could make a really negative choice right now. I don't care either way. And when we do that, we start to see glitches in our matrix, in our reality, of previous choices that we could have made that we didn't make, but we kind of made in another alternate reality, right? So the Galactic Federation and the Palladians, hey YN, thank you so much for that beautiful super chat. The Palladians said, if you find yourself stuck in the middle, you are going to experience a massive amount of glitches in the matrix and quantum leaps, which is cool, and like quantum loops, which is cool, and then also kind of annoying, and it's a little bit of both. But experiencing these quantum glitches, essentially, is going to allow you to understand that this, like all of this, is just an illusion. It's a game. It's a video game. And ultimately, because all of this is a video game, you are the programmer. So what's your next level look like? Where do you want to go in your life? Spiritually, professionally, personally? Where are you going? How are you going to program your reality? Awesome. Thank you all so much for this beautiful live video. Thank you for all of your super chats, all of your donations. I really appreciate it. I hope to see some of you, if not all of you, in a future group session so I can dig deep and channel your deepest questions and information, whether it be cosmic, parallel realities, past lifetimes, energy blocks, work-related things. You name it, I can channel it in these group sessions. So if you want an individual one-on-one time with me, then I definitely recommend the group sessions. They are freaking mind-blowing every single time. So thank you all. Please subscribe to my YouTube page and click the notifications button. I am going to be coming out with a YouTube membership page, and I hope to see all of you there as well. More content coming at you than ever before. Keep up the good work, everyone. Thank you for supporting me and being here and awakening yourself. Bye, everyone. Until next time.